MSI has made some of the finest gaming machines over the past few years, and their latest GT83VR is probably the best gaming machines in the world right now. Recently, we got our hands on GE62VR 6RF Apache Pro, a mid-range gaming laptop that comes with VR-ready desktop-grade Geforce GTX 1060 overclock graphics card. Let's find out how its customized gaming features perform in my following review. This gaming laptop isn't slim or light at any point, especially if this is your first gaming laptop. The 2.4 kilograms of weight and bulky form factor is justified by its hardware specs. The 15.6-inch Full HD IPS display is surrounded by non-metallic superior textured body. The premium plastic build feels sturdy to use, and the textured pattern gives it a tough feel. Considering the price, the brushed aluminum body would have been a perfect fit for this gaming machine. Thankfully, the designers haven't gone overboard while crafting this MSI laptop, which is the case with most of the gaming laptops in the market. Even with the minimal enhancements, this laptop retains its elegance all over the place. It has elevated lines on the rear panel, and a glowing G-Series MSI logo help it stand out from the crowd. This good-looking shiny black color captures fingerprints quickly, so make sure to keep a lint cloth handy. The IPS display has 1080p resolution, which helps the GTX 1060 graphics card to churn out the maximum performance, which might have suffered if MSI would have gone with the 4K. The display misses out on technologies like G-Sync and 120Hz refresh rate. If you can do away with that, the display quality is excellent and color reproduction is great. MSI's True Color feature helps us tweak the display to our liking, which can be accessed through Dragon Center utility. Brighter or overlit environments won't hurt your experience thanks to the anti-glare display. The viewing angles and brightness levels are as good as it can get. Overall, this helps you focus more on your game and eliminates the surrounding distractions, which I will always prefer over the glossy screens. The MSI GE62VR packs some serious hardware, starting with the GeForce GTX 1060. This GPU is based on a Pascal architecture, which according to Nvidia is a quantum leap over the previous generation Maxwell architecture in terms of both performance and price, and I definitely agree with that. Not just the price, but the size and the heat dissipation has decreased significantly on this GPU. This further takes advantage with the input power being efficiently used with no compromises on the performance. This GTX 1060 GPU comes with a 6GB of DDR5 RAM, which has the exact same 1280 CUDA cores compared to its PC variant. The only differentiator being that this laptop version is clocked at slightly lower frequencies of 1400 MHz to 1670 MHz versus the 1506 MHz to 1708 MHz. An extremely small trade-off which I can live with. This GPU is hosted with the 6th generation Intel Core i7-6700HQ processor, 16GB of DDR4 RAM clocked at 2133 MHz, and 256GB of M2 SATA SSD plus 1TB HDD for storage. This laptop comes with a killer gaming LAN adapter to prioritize gaming traffic and keeps those pings to the minimum, especially on a slower internet. Other important connectivity options include two USB 3.0 ports, single USB 3.1 Type-C port, HDMI 1.4, mini display port, GBE LAN, headphone plus mic jack, SD card reader, USB 2.0, an optical drive, and for Ethernet it uses Killer Gaming Network E2400. For wireless connectivity, it has Intel 3165 Stonepick 802.11 AC Wi-Fi plus Bluetooth 4.0. The G62VR also comes preloaded with Windows 10 Home 64-bit operating system. The hardware also produces enough juice to support 2 more monitors and its own display at any instance using the HDMI and mini display ports. So you can also use this to enhance your gaming experience on multiple displays or use it professionally for video editing and development. MSI has gone with SteelSeries Engine 3 to make their keyboard. This superb backlit keyboard is not mechanical, but it's good enough to play extensive gaming sessions. The backlight shines from the silver-lined keys and spreads further, giving you the illusion of keys actually floating. The SteelSeries Engine 3 lets you customize everything from what is actually registered when you press a certain key to changing the backlight pattern. The mousepad is decent and responds well to your touch, and its keys offer great tactile feedback every time. It is big enough and texture gives you a good feel every time you slide your finger over it. The MSI GE62VR 6RF Apache Pro is a mid-range gaming laptop which is also VR ready. It fulfills the minimum requirement for gaming in virtual reality on most advanced devices like HTC Vive. This laptop performs extremely good for gaming. There are different modes like Sports, Eco, Comfort, and also user-defined mode, which from the names itself you can guess what change they make when you activate them. While gaming, I always prefer the sports mode, which provided much needed frame rate boosts. I played the Witcher 3 on ultra high settings and got over consistent 40 FPS. Playing Dota 2 at maximum 90 FPS was a remarkable experience with G62VR. And Counter-Strike Global Offensive was maxed out at 120 FPS. If you move all these games from ultra to normal settings on 1080p, expect huge improvements in frames per second. I spent most of my time playing Rainbow Six at 100 FPS, a smoother multiplayer experience indeed on normal settings. What enriched my gaming experience overall was the Nahimic utility that enhances the sound output. The speakers are quite good and I use them instead of my sound system for the most time. There are 4 2-watt speakers and a 3-watt woofer which sounded really good in a small room, but don't expect them to replace your traditional sound systems. For virtual reality, I managed to get my hands on the HTC Vive to test the MSI GE62VR with the popular Space Pirate Trainer game. The gameplay was smooth, but the texture on the bots and the surrounding neon effects were not as sharp as expected. Also, the FPS of the game was quite low, which made the game harder to play, and with playing for like 10 minutes, I was completely exhausted and suffered from mild dizziness. With the available short amount of time, it was not enough for me to optimize the settings or ensuring the drivers being installed properly, which might have hampered the performance by a significant margin. If I get a chance to play around more, I'll definitely update my experience later in the description. Space Pirate Trainer is one of the most resource-hungry games that played over 75 FPS with no optimization, so I can expect the games like Serious Sam VR and Arizona Sunshine will definitely cross the recommended 90 FPS. We used Mark TimeSpy for the benchmarks, which scored 3503, which according to result is very reliable to consider as a dedicated gaming or VR ready laptop. The CPU score recommended as 3896 and the graphics performance was 3422, averaging to 23 FPS with all the cooling and performance goodies turned off on ultra high settings. Without a doubt, this is also a great machine for editing and rendering 1080p videos thanks to the Core i7 CPU. The CPU temperature stayed well over 60 degrees Celsius with the cooler booster turned off. With full-size GTX 1060 on board, the CPU load was over 99% in extreme tests performed by the Mark TimeSpy. Overall, we can conclude that MSI GE62VR 6RF is a great performer and delivers the promised performance. This laptop comes with a 12 months of free subscription of XSplit Gamecaster if you love streaming your gaming sessions live on Twitch or YouTube. The gaming bundle also includes 2 months of free subscription to WT Fast that can significantly boost your ping time and get better connectivity with multiplayer titles like Battlefield 1 or Call of Duty. The GE62VR 6RF Apache Pro is truly a Pro Series laptop for hardcore gamers. Compared to its higher price sibling MSI GT73VR Titan, it clearly compromises on performance but is more portable thanks to the smaller form factor at a significantly low price. With a killer design, great build quality, and features like backlit keyboard, cooler booster, Nahimic audio, SteelSeries Engine 3, and free access to tools like XSplitter justifies the high price tag of about Rs 1,40,000. As G62VR makes no compromises on performance, I can highly recommend it. If you enjoyed watching this video, please hit a like button, and for more such reviews, please subscribe to Digital Conqueror. Thanks for watching.